Hey Hunter, yesterday after the game, Rich and a bunch of the guys basically said they felt like this year would be a good year when it comes to, building culture and building a foundation moving forward, given everything you guys went through on and off the field. Kind of from your past history, I know you've been on teams maybe at Clemson that had successful seasons but fell a little bit short of where you were aiming for. What was kind of the key to in the following year leading to some improvement and not having any fall off?
The biggest thing has been, continuity, really. I know that's a hot topic we're all, awaiting the announcement for of, what this offseason is going to look like. I feel like every NFL year is probably similar. Who's staying around, who's leaving, who's, going to be here next year. And so, once we have that group set, I think at Clemson, in 2015 we lost the national championship. In 2016 we won it, and having the same guys there and being able to work with them all off season and have that spark of we were close, but now we got to get it done, drove us all off season. And so just the continuity of it, and then just digging in and having that excitement that we're close, and that alone should keep us working pretty hard.
Hunter, on the last play yesterday, what was your assignment on it, and just what was the frustration level just to have the season end that way, so close to the end zone?
Yeah, we tried to throw it to Zay, who's been having a great night. He's having a great last half of the season. Really been one of the better players for us, and just didn't get it done. Derek, had to make a play. He had to fit it in there, and so he did. And I had an opportunity to play before to go out and score, and I didn't. And on a scramble, and so I had my opportunity. So I thought it was a good play call, especially what they've been showing all night. We just didn't, they're NFL players. It's in the red zone, and we need to throw it to score, so they know what's coming.
Hunter, a number of your games kind of came down to that same sort of situation where you're having to come back at the end of games to win them. How do you take that next step? Where, I mean, that's a great accomplishment, but you don't want to always be in that position. Sometimes the law of averages are going to get you. How do you make that next step to avoid being in that predicament all the time?
Sorry, I missed the first part of your question. You're saying the predicament of, coming down to the last play. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of making life a little bit easier for yourselves, where it doesn't always
Yeah.
come down to the heroics.
Yeah, I mean, got to take care of the ball a little better. We had that turnover, and offensively, that's checks or whatever it is. We got to do a better job of, and then we got to get on them early. We got to score. First drive, I believe we kicked a field goal. Is that right? On the first drive. Get a touchdown there. We got to go score, and our red zone offense is something that we struggled with yesterday, and really the last couple of years. We got to get better at that. And we're open to all ideas, and so we're trying to get better at that, and we're going to get better at that. I feel like sometimes this year we showed some improvement, but it's something we need to hang our hat on and become very good at instead of just average. And so jumping on people early definitely helps. And but it is good this year. When it did come down to the last minute, we pulled it out more times than not, and that's something we can hang our hat on.
Hunter, as a receiving core, you guys kind of had an interesting year just because early on in the season, since you guys weren't running the ball as well, you had to throw the ball more, which obviously meant more targets, more reps. And then, what happened in the middle of the season, with Henry and Darren getting hurt, guys like yourself and Edwards and Zay probably had to carry a bigger burden. How do you feel like you all grew as a receiving core as kind of as a result of that greater workload and kind of having more responsibility as the season went on?
Yeah, first, I can't say enough good things about Derek and how it didn't matter who was out there. And really he's done that his whole career. He's a special player, and no matter who's out there, he's going to find him the ball and get us opportunities. And so as a receiver group, we just got more and more confident as the year went along. It's not necessarily what we expected going into the season and get that many opportunities, but it's something that we can grow on, and as we go on the next year, get better at, for sure. Last one, Vinny.
Hunter, you mentioned some of the uncertainty and some of the changes that might be coming. Sometimes that's inevitable one season to the next, but there's some pretty big decisions that might be made. How important do you think it is at the top, coaching and general manager, to kind of keep the continuity that you guys have already started with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously not my job to I know my role. My role is to go out there and play, but I do know one thing, and that's for me personally, I love Rich, and whoever they bring in here is going to do a great job. But I think Rich has proven that he can do it at this level, and we love playing for him. We play hard for him, and he's done a great job. And I think he can lead us if given the opportunity. So we'll see how the cards fold. We'll obviously love whoever they bring in, and we'll work towards winning the Super Bowl next year.
All right, thanks, Hunter.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Everyone.
Thanks.
Sean's first again.
Hey, Andre. Obviously, it was a year change for you all up front on the offensive line with, the guys that left in the offseason and the guys that got hurt early on in the season. What areas do you feel like you all grew the most over the course of the season? And moving forward, what do you think you need to improve just as an overall unit?
Towards the last end of this stretch of the season, I feel like we grew a lot. First, at the beginning of the season, we're all kind of new to each other, didn't really play too much ball. So just being able to communicate, understanding like how we fitted on some of our combinations, it was all still kind of new to us. So later in the season, we started to gel a lot, started to understand how we needed to communicate, understand how do we, what we needed from one another, which is huge as an offensive line. So yeah.
Andre, kind of also going into that question, with all the turnaround that happened with the offensive line from the beginning of the year, one of the biggest things was that the offensive line got younger. So how optimistic does that make you going into next year that you have a young offensive line and you can have continuity at that group?
Yeah, super optimistic. We just want to pick up right kind of like where we started, ended towards the season. Just keep getting better every game. Just keep working hard. I think being a younger group, you're able to take a lot more. So, as you felt like a lot of some of the older teams that we played, or even older O-linemen, we just kept getting better each game, and that's what we wanted to do. Just kept working.
I had kind of like a follow-up on my first question. Did you have like any specific areas like moving forward? Did you think as an overall offensive line, you think you all need to get better at, or any stand? I'm sure there's many things, but just kind of standout areas, maybe focus groups that you can go on into the offseason with?
Yeah, for sure. There's always room for improvement. I think just dialing into technique, when it's important in certain situations, when we got to have it, is a big thing. And that comes with maturity, and that comes with just reps and experience, really. So the more you play, the more experience you'll get.
Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, going into this offseason, I think from the outside, everybody's just kind of wondering, what kind of changes are coming to the organization and a lot of the power structure and even on the roster. How are you feeling, and like how close are you going to kind of be monitoring this and paying attention to all this? So there's going to be a lot of rumors over the next couple of days.
Right. It's all up in the air, and that comes from way above my pay grade. So I just try to focus on what I can focus on. I think, a lot of us are the same way in this building. Just control what we can control, and we'll take it however we can get it. So.
Andre, I believe that you and Colton Miller were actually the only two players throughout the entire season to play 100% of all snaps that were possible for the offense. How much do you attribute to that, to just nutrition or off-season training, or just the Lord's goodwill?
Yeah, I don't know. Me and Colton, we do the same off-season routine. I think it's a good testament to our strength staff here. Just dialing into your body, making sure your body's good. Really just taking care of it. I think me and Colton do a pretty good job with that. So yeah.
All right. Thanks, Andre.
Thank you, guys.
Tre'von Moehrig. Looks like Deshaun, you're first.
Hey Trey, I know during the season, you kind of every time we talked to you, you always said you were kind of staying in the moment and kind of just focusing on what was next. But now that the year is over, how do you kind of reflect on your rookie season just as an individual?
Man, it was a great, season. Had a lot of fun, learned a lot from the guys and the coaches. Just really just like you said, just enjoy the moment of each day, each practice, each game. And like I said, just learned a lot. Coach Bisaccia was great, how he stepped in. Had a ton of respect for him and what he's done to help us get here as well. So, but overall, I loved it, and it's just making me hungry for this next season.
Trayvon, by the end of the season, along with you, Nate Hobbs, Devon Diablo, and Alex Leatherwood were all starting as rookies. What do you think that says about the rookie class and the precedents you've been able to set for that draft class?
Yeah, I think it's just a great rookie class, like you said. Everybody just came in really focused. Wanted to do their job, wanted to do their part, did everything the coaches asked of them. Just tried to be great leaders on and off the field. So, like you said, I think we had a great rookie class, and will help us, going forward the next season.
And guys could play, 30 years in the NFL and not go through the kind of things that you went through this year, just as an organization and everything else that went on. So I guess, were you mentally prepared for just how crazy this could be? Nobody could have seen it coming, obviously.
Yeah, but I don't think I was prepared. I don't think anybody was prepared. But like you said, it just showed a bunch of guys, coming together and sticking together, just showing resiliency. Taking one practice at a time, one game at a time, and just being there for each other, loving on each other, and just making sure everybody was straight. But like I said, everybody just stuck together, and we found a way to get to the playoffs. So, I think that says a lot for what we've gone through.
Hey, Trey, you carried a pretty big burden this year as a starter already, but especially after some of the injuries that you all had in the secondary, the team was really relying on you playing well in the back end. And what do you think? Just kind of the combination of getting that experience of having a big role, but also the team being successful and getting that playoff experience. How much do you think that can help you grow just as a player moving forward?
Just getting my feet wet. I'm just just how the season went. And obviously, like you said, just getting to the playoffs, feeling that big time atmosphere. Big time football atmosphere. Just want to get there again and have that feeling again. So, especially for the other rookies that play alongside me, to have that feeling, just to know what it feels like to be there, just help us push forward. Like I said before, just for the next season, man. Really.
What is your next step that you want to take as a player in your development, and what does the off season look like in terms of trying to improve in those areas?
Man, really, I just want to build up my body. Build a more solid body. Maybe gain not too much weight. I don't want to say that, and y'all take it too seriously. But maybe put on some more muscle. Just obviously work on, my technique and the skills we're developing. Into a free safety. Coming down, playing some more man technique. Working on my feet, working on my hands. Everything. Just trying to perfect everything I can.
Trayvon, can you reflect to a certain part of the season, could have been training camp or preseason or whenever? Do you think there was a certain point where you can remember thinking like the game started becoming slower to you and you really felt like you could compete with anyone in the NFL throughout the season?
Man, that's a good question. I would say maybe it's New York game. I feel like I started, kind of, like I said before, kind of understanding my role, becoming the eraser tackler and just staying deep as the deepest. But I'd probably say that game, probably one of my better games tackling-wise as well. So, I would say that game, if anything.
Hey, Tre'von, Paul Gutierrez here from ESPN. Again, the Raiders are always involved in some sort of strange play when it comes to the playoffs, and the inadvertent whistle where you were in coverage and it looked like you kind of gave up on it at the end. Did you hear the whistle, or what kind of reaction or effect did it have on you on that specific play, the whistle?
Yeah, I think, everybody heard the whistle, but, that's, no excuse. Could I have been in a better position to make a play? Yeah, for sure. We were in a scramble drill. Quarterback got outside the pocket. Everybody was running around trying to find a guy. Running towards the receiver as the play was still going on. Heard the whistle. Didn't even see the ball thrown until the receiver jumped up to catch the ball, turned around, and thought it was going to be a replay of the down, but can't change it. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it.
Along those lines, there was a report today those officials won't work again in the playoffs. I mean, did you see that? And do you have any thoughts on that happening now?
No, this is my first time hearing it, but I mean, I don't really have anything to say about that. That's not my job or my take. So.
All right, thank you, Tre'von. Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate y'all.
Reminder: we're going to reconvene at 12.